Show your bling and let me shine you.
How's it going, guys, and welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'd like to go over something a bit different than usual. A user on Tumblr by the name of Radical Very has made an Unreal Engine 4 render of Dimitri's Nightclub from Sly Cooper Band of Thieves. Now, I've never imagined the Sly Cooper series in the Unreal Engine 4, but to actually see it is pretty interesting. Radical Very was kind enough to let me share his or her work on my channel. The Unreal Engine 4 render looks stunning. It's crazy, a fan-made render looks like a real thing. It's impressive and just shows how much some people out there are dedicated. So for this video, I'll pretty much give my thoughts and discuss about it a little. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Now, we're all used to Sly Cooper with cel-shaded graphics. I mean, all 4 games so far have had the same style of graphics. Although they all had the same style, they kept looking better than the other. So what we're seeing right now is Dimitri's Nightclub in the Unreal Engine 4. Now, this isn't a full render of the whole location. The original nightclub consisted of 7 rooms. The main room, the wine cellar, the water pump room, etc. This is a render of the office room. The user took the time and effort to completely transform the office into modernized graphics. By modernized graphics, I'm not implying that the graphics of the series is bad. I like it. It has its own charm and makes the game unique. But what I'm saying is that these new graphics are comparable to the graphics we see in the majority of games today. Alright, what actually made this user decide to make such render? Here's what was stated. I always loved Dimitri, but his nightclub office was very boring and empty in Sly 2. I decided to completely reimagine the location and hopefully give him an office that fits his greasy sweet style. By looking at his nightclub in the original, we immediately noticed that the office felt very empty and dull. Now, the Unreal Engine 4 has the ability to give much better and realistic lighting. Of course, we're talking about PS2 engine versus PS4 engine. The Sly Cooper series, while the first 3 games to be precise, ran on the Spackle engine, Sucker Punch, Animation, and Character Kinematics Life engine. For the 4th game, although looking better and similar, ran on Sanzaru's engine. The office in the Unreal Engine 4 has awesome lighting, which gives it much more life. Not only lighting, but we can also notice that the user added some cool looking particles in the air, which look really nice in the blue light. One thing I really like about this render is the shiny effect. It adds a nice feeling of modern graphics to it. The shadows look absolutely amazing, the reflection on the floors look insane. I mean, guys, although we all like Sly's current graphics, I gotta say, the Unreal Engine 4 really brings life to the game. Okay, yes, the place looks gorgeous, but we don't know what the characters would look like on the Unreal Engine 4. And maybe that's why some people might dislike the idea of this engine. However, I do feel like there's still some mix of cartoony and realistic graphics in this render. If we look closely at the counters with bottles on them, they still have a touch of classic feel to them. Plus, if we look at the shapes, for example the paintings, the door, and the coffin, the edges look curvy, which easily remind us of the old graphics. Another thing, the statue stand has a cartoony touch to it. The walls have this paint finish effect, which looks awesome as well. We can even see light reflection on the walls. This render must have taken quite a while, judging by the number of details added. Now, the paintings on the walls have a lot more life to them. So the whole place overall has a lot more stuff. Plus, the floor even has a large painting on it. And again, I thank Radical for letting me show this to you guys. Moving on, some of you might remember a discussion video I came up with a while back. I discussed about the possibility of a reimagining, just like what Sanzaru Games is doing with Ratchet & Clank right now. A Sly Cooper movie is coming out someday, right? What if the same thing happened for this game, where the movie would get its own game, basically a reimagining of Thievius Raccoonus? What if that game, if it were to happen of course, followed the same style of graphics as this Unreal Engine 4 render? Would this be way over the top or too much for the series? I mean, look, the movie isn't CGI, so maybe if they reimagined the game, then perhaps the new game would follow this style of graphics, just like Ratchet & Clank. But my question is this, what would the characters look like in the game? Would they look very similar to their movie version? If we look at Ratchet & Clank, the character models are basically from the movie. However, where does this leave Sly Cooper 5? It would be weird to jump from one engine to the other, right? If it switched engines for the reimagining, then that would make more sense. But for Sly 5, I think sticking to the usual style of graphics is much better. we should at least finish the series with the same aspects. One thing's gotten me curious lately. Why are we getting a Sly Cooper movie if Sony is hesitant when it comes to Sly 5? A movie is a pretty huge deal, guys. If we're getting a movie, why not also get a sequel, right? Let's make something clear. The movie is in CGI, right? What if Sony is planning on testing us all? 1. Release the movie, and 2. See how much attention the visuals of the movie will grab. I'm pretty sure people who disliked the graphics of Sly Cooper saw the movie trailer and went, "Oh, is this really Sly Cooper? It looks great, I might check it out." Let's face it, a lot of games today are focused on realistic graphics overall, and companies feel like they attract gamers more. If the movie does well, what if Sony is planning on completely reimagining the game with CGI graphics? Like something that's comparable to Radical's render. Sony, deep down, knows that the Sly Cooper series is pretty well known and appreciated, so something is up, but we don't know what. Guys, what if something gets revealed at E3 2016? Could we finally get a reveal of Sly Cooper 5 or something else regarding the series? Who knows? I mean, Sanzaru Games is up for it, and Sucker Punch is currently working on an unknown project. What if that unknown project is Sly? Or who knows, they might secretly be discussing about Sly 5 with Sanzaru Games. Alright, I guess I'll end it right here, guys. What did you think of the Unreal Engine 4 render of Sly Cooper? Do you think we should send this to Sanzaru Games or Sucker Punch? Would you imagine this game on this engine? I'll leave Radical Vary's link in the description so you can check it out. So leave your thoughts in the comments, and as always, each and every one of you are awesome. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I've been Vivi, and until next time, thanks for watching.